I'm sorry, apologize.
That's okay.
Y'all got anything done?
Nope.
We already voted, we're done.
We've already adjourned.
All right.
All right, the time is 9:05. I'd like to call the Houston DDA meeting to order. I would like to make a motion to move the executive session to right now instead of at the end, to discuss real estate and personnel. Yep. So can I get a motion to move the executive to right now instead of the end?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then we need to make a motion to go into executive.
I need to make a motion to go into executive.
I'll make a motion going to executive meeting
For real estate and personnel.
for real estate purchases and personnel.
Okay,
I'll second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
We will be back. Oh, we take breaks.
I'd like to make a motion to come out of executive.
Second. You make the motion.
I need a motion, yeah, sorry.
I make a motion to come out.
First, you said, I make a motion to come out of executive, so then, are you seconding, Mr. Mitchell?
I will.
Okay. All in favor?
Oh, if you do, just let everybody know that I had Tracy on the phone.
Yes, Tracy Jordan could not be here today due to, work stuff, so she's on the phone. She's on speakerphone. So you guys have received a copy of today's meeting agenda. Are there any changes or additions?
None.
No.
All right, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
All right, second. All in favor? Aye. And so now we're going to approve the minutes for July 14th, our regular meeting, and July 14th for our retreat. You guys have received a copy of those minutes. Are there any changes or additions?
No.
I did actually want to, I noticed that it has the wrong time on there, if that matters, on both of them. On the regular meeting, adjourn at 9:15 p.m.
Oh, I'll fix that.
And then on the retreat for the minutes, the call to order was at 9:17 p.m.
I was probably doing this at 9:15.
Yeah. Yeah,
I will fix that.
okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So now on to business items. I created a little presentation to kind of show you guys. I love the city. We work here, own a business here, we live here. So my goal is to transform the city. And so I'm really happy to be on the board and to be helping lead a great team. So I wanted to kind of show you guys some visuals of, you know, what we can accomplish together and to offer some encouragement.
Sure.
So, yeah. All right. Tiffany's my Vanna White.
And just tell me if you want me to pause it or anything, like, you know.
Yeah, just keep it on the same,
I don't think it's gonna make me do every.
yeah, it's not a PowerPoint presentation, it's a bunch of, like PDFs or pictures, I guess. Okay, so expectations. I want to thank each of you for being here and for your willingness to serve on this board. As members of the DDA, we've been entrusted with an important role to help shape and grow the future of downtown Houston. This isn't just a title, it's a commitment to be actively involved. Whether it's helping plan events, offering your time or skills, or supporting the city with your skill set, your presence and participation matter. I understand everyone has different strengths and schedules, and I don't expect everyone to do everything, but I do expect everyone to do something. You're on this board because you volunteered and showed interest, and I want to honor that by holding us all accountable, myself included. We're fortunate to have an almost full board, and there are others in our community who are eager to serve but currently don't have a seat. So let's make the most of our time here. Let's be the board that sets the standard for what engaged, effective leadership looks like in Houston. I think if you press like the forward button, that might be? No, okay. So one of the things, social media is, everything is run by social media. Everything is digital nowadays. We do need social media management. I know that Jennifer does social media. I think Juan helps with social media. Great job. We want to get the branding consistent. Our city's social media is one of our most valuable tools for connecting with residents. We can streamline both of the Facebook accounts and make them consistent with branding and content using a strong social media policy to protect the city's reputation and clearly outline who can post and how content should be handled. We can also prevent confusion and misinformation and bring the DDA and the city together to create a hub where citizens can participate in events, fundraisers, and be in the know. So I think if there's, a select set of people that are doing both of those pages, one's for the DDA and the other is, basically for events. They can be streamlined and everything can look consistent, which I think we need. So rebranding is something that I do have experience in rebranding as far as the sign industry goes and just graphic design and stuff like that. But one of the things that I noticed was that as fast as Houston is growing, we need to rebrand our DDA. So rebranding is important because it helps reshape public perception, attract new residents, businesses, and visitors, and reflect the community's current values and future goals. Something I will add is that when most cities or DDAs, when they rebrand, it's kind of like, here we are starting fresh, starting from scratch, and here's what we're going to do. So we want people to know who we are. And so I believe that time is now. So what I did was went back in the archives to kind of look at different cities that did different rebranding. All of our surrounding cities have done rebranding in the past 5 years, and it shows in the way that their city has transformed also. So these are the before and afters. I'll give a couple examples. That was Gainesville before and after. Which was that? Yeah, Clay brought a postcard, and he was pointing out the Gainesville's new logo. There's Winder, the before and after. So just something to make it more fun, modern. There's Duluth. They rebranded in 2023. There's Brazelton. I know Jennifer was a key point of rebranding Brazelton as well when she was over there. And so when a city rebrands their logo, the DDA doesn't necessarily have to have the same logo because we're the fun people. So just some DDA logo examples of there's Explore Brazelton, Imagine Thomasville, Main Street Gainesville, Historic Downtown Rome. The Hey Y'all is from Livonia, and that was kind of like their tagline is Hey Y'all. And I know for Houston, it's happening in Houston is the kind of the slogan. So this is just an example. On the left is the DDA's current logo, and I would like to suggest that we rebrand to something way more modern. Those fonts are. If you know anything about branding, you can't you have to brand your fonts and use stuff that's good for public use and stuff. That font is called Railway. And so I thought it was kind of cool to kind of reflect on the railroad and the depot that was here. So rebranding, just some key points of, things that you would want to do with, it starts with the logo really, and then you just start pushing it out, visual identity. You would update the DDA logo, colors, fonts, and overall design style, which we can discuss as a board what kind of logo we want. Putting that logo on our digital presence, so on our Facebook page, I don't think we have an Instagram, but I'd love to see us have.
We have one.
Okay. And create a TikTok too. I'd love to create a TikTok and make fun videos. Yeah. Signage and wayfinding, that can come over time. Some of these things, I don't think the DDA logo is really on anything right now, so there'd be really nothing to probably replace. But as new building comes into play in the city, we can start using our branding, so people know that's the DDA doing all this stuff, which I want them to know. Marketing materials, I don't even know what paper kind of materials or banners, event materials. When you guys have, banners in front for, events, you can put, if these are DDA events, you can put our little logo on there. And public engagement, communicating the new brand to residents through outreach, events, and education.
And just I was gonna mention, you said like this thing before, something, when we built this, we put, because we have to advertise like the agendas and stuff. So we put boards on the buildings, but there's still the double board down at the police department or in front of it. So y'all could use it and we could make it kind of colorful stuff in it and all. That way people can start looking in there for DDA stuff, events coming up, and I'll have and all that. And with the coffee shop being right there, I'm sure a bunch of people would probably look at it. Right now, it just doesn't have probably anything in it, yeah. So that may be a start.
Okay, yeah, thank you. That's great. So I know at the last meeting, we kind of talked about that porch. I have talked to probably a dozen people, just random people as I've run across them. Most people don't even know that porch is there behind Houston Coffee. I was there meeting with somebody about plants and stuff, and there was actually 2 people working on their computer under the porch. It was the rainy, cold day, so it was like perfect. But how awesome would that be to utilize that porch and make a place where somebody wants to come and be there? The back porch is a city-owned space with potential to become a vibrant, welcoming destination for residents and visitors alike. With thoughtful enhancements such as landscaping with flowers and greenery, murals, ambient string lighting, and inviting seating, this area can serve as a charming outdoor setting for enjoying coffee, drinks, or simply relaxing in the fresh air. With free Wi-Fi available, it also offers a convenient spot for remote work. Additionally, the back porch can host community events, fundraisers, birthday celebrations, and more, transforming it into a valuable multi-use asset that reflects the spirit and hospitality of Houston. Most importantly, we can decide as a board how this area can be best utilized. So the options are open. To me, the first thing that we would need to do is to give people a reason to go back there. We can do that we can brainstorm and talk about, why would someone want to be back there and, hang out?
We gotta tell them it's there first.
Yep, yeah, so go to the next slide. So the way that you can tell people that it's there is through signage. So you would put something that people would say, well, what's back there? So I took the liberty of getting 3 different quotes for different types of signage. There's option 1, 2, and 3, and they basically vary in price based on what is possible. The first option, the least expensive, would be a hanging pole banner. So this is literally like the same kind of things that are on the side of the light posts. The banner can be reprinted inexpensively and interchangeable for the seasons. And of course, the design can be much more colorful if you desire. You make it look however you want to. The cost of a sign like this is about $1,000. That includes installation and permitting. And then replacement banners would be around $350. This is something that, if you're going to put money into it, you're going to constantly, you're going to have to replace the banners probably every, couple years or so.
Like mildew bad.
I'm sorry?
Like mildew bad too. I mean, you gotta watch it.
Right. So, but I did want to throw out that option, that is the least expensive option. So the next option is, oh, by the way, I am not a graphic designer. I am literally using Canva and just like piecing together the elements that I have on Canva. So This is a metal hanging sign, so something to this effect. It could be longer, you know, and sit closer to the building. It would not light up. Well, according to the sign ordinance, you can have external, light. But a metal hanging sign in the corridor, we can change the design, of course, but this is a permanent sign. This would last for years and years and years. The cost of this is about $2,000. That includes installation and permitting. And by the way, I would get the permits myself. So usually you have to pay a sign company several $100s to get the permit, and then it's, the sign permits here in the city are $100. We would have to pay the $100, but I would get the, no,
That was my next question.
nice. Yeah. Yep.
I don't wanna be colored here.
And then the third option is the most expensive. This would look the best. It involves a lot. It is $7,000. This would be a standalone, structure. You would have to drill into the, you know, remove the concrete so you could, you know, concrete it in. It's very involved. So, if I were to give my opinion, I would want the option 2, just because it's something we could do right now, and it's pretty inexpensive for getting a sign that's gonna cost, or that's gonna last a long time. This is something I would like to aspire to do, you know, in the future. That would look awesome. Yeah.
That would look good.
And it doesn't even have to be shaped like that, but just like,
That's great.
drawing people back there. Yep, next one.
I know a few businesses in this room that might want to sponsor,
Might get a sponsor.
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
a few.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got your sign, but then why are people, what's also gonna draw them back there? I am all for plant life beautification. Most of you don't know me well enough, but I'm like, crazy about houseplants. I used to have like 80 houseplants. Then we moved and I got rid of most everyone, and I've got about 15 now. So I probably put more plants on here than needed, which is okay. But if we added string lights to the porch and added plant life to it, possibly even down the road, putting a wall mural on that, under the sign would be awesome.
Does Matt, serve, if you get food here at the restaurant, can you go out there and eat, or does he serve out there, or he use that at all?
So it's a common area. There's no agreement with the coffee shop or with Matt as a pasta master. So we just use it as a common area. Anybody can go out there.
Can you get a drink up right here and walk out there and sit down and run?
They can. Yeah. But I will tell you, the coffee shops, all the furniture out there is a coffee shop. They did, I'm not saying they donated it, but they did, all get it up to the
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, but as far as the maintenance, the city, pressure washer said, we do the trash, we do all that, so.
Okay. We could utilize the back porch for events, fundraisers, and festivals, but we can collaborate to see how we can get the most out of it, which I think is gonna be the most important thing. We could eventually add another sign to the back, so as this area behind us becomes more walkable and people could go both ways, they could use it as a go-between, you know, to get from one side to the other. 'Cause really, all along the strip, there's no other place to like walk to the back. And there's like a little bit of room beside some of these buildings, but you don't really want people walking, you know, through the tiny little place. Just some examples. I love the city of Gainesville. They have tons and tons and tons of plants. I realize now that what goes into plants like that, A, it's very expensive, and B, you have to have irrigation. So I've actually met with 2 different, you know, companies that do plant life beautification. It's not something, we need to more give them a budget of what we can start with, because it will be expensive, but I know there's grants that you can get. There's a lot of volunteers. I know, I think Cresswin used to, they have a gardening club there that, we could definitely get volunteers to help, do stuff. But also another idea would I don't even know if it's like maybe $1,500 for like a big, planting pot with irrigation. We could also get companies to donate maybe some of the supplies or the dirt or the flowers, and we can make little signs that go in there that says, donated by, and put their logo. So they get kind of permanent placement there. So there's ways that we could find, to pay for stuff like this. Some other examples is adding string lights to select trees in front of the square and then the green space by the depot. The trees all probably, some of them need pruned so that they could be pretty. The example on the left is again from City of Gainesville. All their trees have lights year-round. I love that look. It's beautiful. We visited, several downtown areas in the past couple months. Every downtown area has string lights around their trees.
Will the city, manage and take care of it? Or we gotta pay somebody to do that? I mean, it's not big management.
As far as watering and stuff?
Well, I'm talking about like lights, I mean.
Yeah, you'd have to have power out there.
Power, you gotta work on them too. Of course, most of the LED stuff, man, you get work pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
We'll just have to talk through that.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a selfie station. So this is something, it's about $500 for a selfie station. So this is actually an example from City of Duluth. So City of Duluth, if you've ever been down there, their downtown is amazing. And so they also have corridors that you can walk through. This particular selfie station I took a picture of is located right in this corridor with like their big sign that kind of archways over. It's kind of where I got the idea. And it goes back and there's plants and it's a pretty spot. So when people put their phone there and they put it on a timer and they're going to take a selfie, they're not just taking a selfie of themselves, they're looking at the background. So it's like, that's the brand recognition. So people are like, oh, that's cool, where are you at? Or those famous murals that, the angel wings that people stand behind and it's got their logo on there.
I like it.
Did you say, 'cause I can't remember, are these movable or they're concreted in?
They're not concreted in, but they're very heavy, so you can't just like pick it up and take it away, but they are movable.
Well, I didn't
You
know,
can
like, if
drag
y'all got a
it.
couple, you make it move, leave it here for a little while, and then we move it to a different location for a little while.
Yeah,
Once we get more, like, murals or things for people to.
yeah.
If you didn't
definitely
wanna
do that.
buy more, if
Right.
you wanted to circulate them for a while, I didn't know if they could be moved.
Yeah, that would be ideal to move it around as the city goes. That QR code on the bottom of that, by the way, goes to the City of Duluth's event page. So we definitely need to strengthen our event page as events start to happen. And then people will always know, they can access a event page from there. The crosswalk, I found out very quickly that you can't do colorful crosswalks on a state road. But I talked to Mayor Martin about this. She's already contacted GDOT to repaint that crosswalk right in front of our building. This is much needed. If you're local to this area and you walk around, people don't stop. The city put up those flashers, which I think help, and I love that they've got the button out there. So repainting it is going to be, is going to help with that. You can paint these. This is going to be right behind us on the corner of West Broad and White Street. So thinking back to if you start to develop the back porch area and people can walk through, the reason that they would be back here is if there's parking or anything going on back here, they can see that area over there at the back porch and walk through. You could do I don't know much about this, but I know we've got, you know, people that are involved or volunteers that could help, you know, do fundraising competition for the art. So we could virtually get this done for free. There's grants that you can get it done with, you know, to donate the paint and stuff like that. Call it the Art Walk, the Houston Crosswalk Contest and Fundraiser. We could figure out a way to, you know, make that super colorful. Similar to, Jennifer was telling me, you know, like in downtown Brazelton, they've got, like, some of their crosswalks are painted. And then she was telling me that they actually had a competition about that to, no, it was, different business owners and put their name on the book and the,
Yeah.
and the,
It's probably
it was
the
books.
library. Yeah, and you could buy books.
Yeah. And it was virtually paid for,
Uh-huh.
right? Yeah.
Then we'll have to.
I went through that, it looks good. I think it's too small. I couldn't read it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you. It should be more vibrant.
Mhm. Almost done. Did you guys know that Houston is the fastest growing city in the state? And Jackson County is the fourth fastest growing county in the nation?
Wow.
If you don't know that, start to look around and look down the road, at, you know, the Kroger, the Publix, the McDonald's.
I'm gonna drive that.
Yeah,
Well,
you can walk faster.
when he said he was 2 miles away, I said, ooh.
Yeah,
Maybe 45
I had to
minutes.
stop down there because they was doing work. I'd stop on the road.
Yeah, yeah. So why the DDA matters right now, if we don't lead downtown development, someone else will. Or worse, no one will. And by the time we realize what we've lost, it could be too late. And so my goal is to create action, create events, create change in the city. Whatever we do, we have to do it together. And we all have great strengths. We've got volunteers chomping at the bit, ready to volunteer and help do stuff. So that's what I'm excited about. So that leads to an open-ended question. You don't have to answer this, it's rhetorical, but what strengths will you bring to help the DDA grow and succeed? So I hope that all of this has brought some excitement to the DDA. I think that we need this, especially in this time. Yeah.
Well done.
So our next action is discussing the upcoming 25-26 events. I know that the DDA is gonna be in charge of the trunk or treat from now on, if we wanna do that. So this, Tiffany in the city has been doing doing basically all the events so far, which has been the spring festival, the back to school, the fall festival, the trunk or treat, and holiday market. Those are kind of like the things that we've been doing on a, I guess, yearly basis. We can add to do as much as we want, and I would like to see that happen. Except the spring and fall festival, Tiffany's gonna continue to handle that. It is a huge job. I personally don't wanna deal with the fall festival. It's like a full-time job. And also, there's so many ins and outs of it. I think she does a great job. And also, somebody told me that's the biggest festival in the county, which that's a really big deal. So,
Probably the oldest.
Yeah, it's, this is our 50th year, this is our 50th.
I think
the first one was in 73.
whoa.
They skipped a couple of years,
They skipped a couple of years.
yeah. So I think we were at 50.
I think we're either 52 or 53.
Might have been 72, I want to say.
Yeah, so we can add to any of these as we go along, you know, if someone has ideas of how we can raise money, or even just definitely continue to do the trunk or treat. The holiday market is also the jingle mingle, so we need to start planning that. And I am gonna rely heavily on the people that have done it successfully in the past. I know Tracy's been, a a huge asset to kind of knowing what, did she have to hang up?
No, she's on.
Oh, okay. A huge asset to, you know, like what worked in the past. She talked about that last time, what's worked in the past. I'm all ears, you know, and I think you guys are too, so.
And I just wanna say, like, even for spring and fall, we want y'all to be a part of that. You know, we've talked to Jessica some, we've even met with Clay too, like on where y'all can be a part of that. Maybe y'all bring back barbecue competition as part of the fall, stuff like that, so that, you know, we still are partnering with y'all on those events, and y'all are still getting y'all's name out more, to show that y'all are a part of that stuff. So we're just gonna handle the paperwork side of it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where to start with planning the Jingle Mingle, because that is, the date has been set to November 21st. It is gonna be, on that date. So we will need to discuss in the next month, you know, a couple weeks, about how we're gonna handle that and get lots and lots of advice from people that have done it before, and.
And that's the tree lighting, all that, all that.
So what we'll do, we'll send you an email, we'll send an email out to all y'all and just tell you everything that was always included in it. Then y'all
Okay.
can kind of piggyback off of that and play around with it, so.
All right. That's all I had for events. Is there anything else I need to?
Well, along those lines of events, I think there's a lot of events that we've put together, that a lot of businesses do. I think we can support those, piggyback those, or brand ourselves to them. I know the events that we do, I'd love to see the DDA get credit for that or be part of that. Certainly, what's done with Doug and the motorcycle ride that they do on Tuesdays, you know, I'm sure they'd be very open to. So we don't have to create all events. There's a lot of events that go on. We could, and when I say support, we don't need financial support, but it could be on the website. It could, and certainly the DDA could take credit for it. You know, would be perfectly fine. So the things that are going on, if we can encourage those events and support those, there's a whole event calendar. And you see them in front of our business. We have, okay, here's the August events, and only one of those 4 events that are out there are ours. We're promoting what Doug's doing and you know, what Juan's doing, that type of thing. So I think we can come behind that and support that and put gas on that fire that's already there. And a lot of those people are running those themselves. We just need some support or some encouragement, or the advertising. If someone's looking at the city, what's going on in the city? Well, Doug's doing a motorcycle ride on Tuesday night. It needs to be on the DDA's information, because we need to support him in that, I think.
That's
or
great.
Anybody that's doing anything.
That's great. Anybody else have anything to add about events and anything upcoming? So our next order of business is the recommendation to the council for new board member applications to replace Dr. Kumar. As you guys know, you've had time to look over both of the applications. I'm going to recuse myself from voting. I think that's the right thing to do, and we're gonna do it by paper. So Jennifer's gonna hand out papers, and you guys will circle who you're gonna vote for, pass it down, like fold it up, pass it down, and then she will.
I'll pick them up when you're ready. Give me just a minute to tally these.
So the recommendation to the council for the board member application to replace Dr. Kumar, it was voted, do I say the number?
No.
Or, okay, Anita Boyd. And so this will go to the council, and they will decide from there.
They'll make a final recommendation based on, your recommendation.
When will that be done?
So that will be done next Thursday. They'll, have it in front of them, and then the following Thursday, the third Thursday, I don't know the date of that, the 21st or 4th. They'll make that final decision the third Thursday, the 21st.
All right.
And then by the next, meeting that y'all have, whoever their final recommendation is, will, they'll take their oath.
So they either take this one or we have to find somebody else.
Do what?
They either take this one or we find somebody else, or they ready.
I mean, you make your recommendation to the mayor and council. They could say, let's keep going, look for others. I'm not really sure what their discussion will be.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. But most of the time, they go by y'all's recommendation.
All right, so the next order of business is the recommendation of the vision statement. You've all received a copy of the new vision statement. Are there any additions or changes? If not, can I get a motion to approve? A motion to approve. Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Tracy?
So I did want to add the citizen input into, we have valuable people in the audience that might want to, you know, have a voice in this moment. So we can just spend like, you know, maybe 5 minutes or so, just if anyone has in the audience anything they'd like to add. Yes?
Let's grab the microphone.
Say again?
We get the microphone.
Okay.
Oh.
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 There we go. Hi, my name's Ace Savito. I live at 100 Powell Court. I'm a resident of the city, and full disclosure, I am the chairman of the City Planning and Zoning Commission. I get a lot of questions in my role in the planning city. The number one question I get is traffic on 53, but I'd like to address the second question that I get most often, and that's Larry's Garage. And I would tell you, first of all, I think there's a distinction between an old building and a historical building.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Larry's Garage is an old building and not a historical building. People that come and talk to me about Larry's Garage are frustrated. Many of them have been here 3, 4, 5 years, and when we first got here, it's going to get renovated, and nothing's happened. It's lack of a better term, almost an eyesore. The financial commitment the city made, $900,000. When you look at Jackson County's property assessment, it's $240,000, adding to the frustration. And I understand that you just assumed responsibility for that. I don't know if that's an albatross or not, but with it. But I would just like to think and say that most of the recommendations, almost 95% of the recommendations I get from inputs from the citizens is tear it down. It's an eyesore. And some of the presentations that I've been to, when you look at the structural integrity of that building, there's problems with the roof and the bricks, and it's just not going to go anywhere fast. And that's the disappointment citizens have. What are we doing with it instead of just hanging on to it? You know, if I was king for a day, it would come down and then either sell the property, trade it off with a developer for some future considerations. Also, in tagging on that a little bit more, with the property that the city acquired for the new city hall and police station on Peachtree versus Larry's Garage, the gravel parking lot behind it, the Mulberry House, and to a certain extent, the Blankenship property, I would like for the Downtown Development Authority to consider swapping those properties. And my thought process is for that, and the feedback I get from the community is, If you move the park to Peachtree, where the proposed city hall will be, you're moving the park facilities closer to as the population grows in our city. We're a growing city. And if you look at it, 53 is probably where a lot of our population growth is going to go over the next 10, 15, 20 years. By moving the city hall and the police station over to the Blankenship property or Mulberry Park, you're keeping downtown, downtown. If you move City Hall away from here, all you're going to have is a water tower and hopefully the train station. But if we move City Hall down here, the police station down here, it gives us a focal point to keep business downtown, to support the Houston Cafe, the coffee shop, the barber shop that is probably going to go across the street behind the gas station, those kind of things. So I would like, I know you've just taken over Larry's Garage, but I think we need to move quickly because we don't want this to snowball to where it's too late to do something. Again, swap those two properties, move City Hall closer to where it is here, move the park to Peachtree Street. So that's my comments.
Thank you, Ace. I will speak on behalf of the DDA. They, as you just mentioned, they just signed their IGA for the 52 Broad Street property. They are in the very beginning stages, so they have no comments at this moment. But I will tell you, when it comes to the Mulberry property, Peachtree property, those are not, the DDA has no authority over those. That is directly mayor and council on those properties. So they won't have a comment on those as well. So just to let you know, they are working, they are going to work toward a common goal for those Stansville buildings. So, but at this point, we do not have anything to report.
Hey, I'm Jason Martin, full disclosure, husband of Jessica. I just want to announce my excitement for the DDA and what everything is going to go on downtown. I'm going to continue to be a volunteer to help out with ideas and stuff like that. So I want to thank you for your consideration for my vote today, even though it didn't come out the way I wanted, but that's fine. That's cool. I'm totally fine with that. But I am super excited about supporting Clay and the future events that you want to do, just coming up with ideas and helping out Jessica. I think she's going to do wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, if there's no further business, can I get a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. All right.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Tracy? Tracy, are you okay to adjourn? Thank you.
And everybody knows when the next meeting is, now that we changed it,
Oh, yeah.
September 4th, is that right?
I guess so every first,
September 4th at 9 a.m.